Ladies and gentlemen, Fiio is approaching the arena and wants to try with his own portable cassette player. Is it going to be up to the expectations? Let's figure it out. Okay guys, roaming the web, I found another portable cassette player. What is the novelty? What is the news? Well, actually, there are several ones that are coming out here and there, and it's always the same crapola. As you know, I presented a lot here on the channel, but I always try to present something that seems to push a little up the bar, the quality bar. And Fiio does incredible portable digital stuff. This time, they are trying to do something analog. Now, I was very curious at that point, because if they started to do their own portable player, this means something. Not only it's a great signal for all of us, but clearly I am expecting a very high quality, or at least a higher quality than what is available today. So, we're going to go through a short unboxing, see the different features. We're going to see the specs. We're going to do a little test, a comparison, and then finally I will give you my take on the baby. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Okay guys, so here is the CP13. This model that I got and that is available for now is only coming in blue, in light blue. But I know there's going to be white and black at least, maybe also transparent. I saw some renderings. Who knows? The official launch is going to be in a month or so, okay? In any case, this is actually what you're going to find. Regardless the color, this is the correct model. So, as you can see, a nice nifty box. Let's see what's inside. Okay. So, let's see what we have here. First thing, a quick start guide in different languages, including Italiano and Inglese and English, and much more. So, nice. There's also this QR code, which I tried to scan that didn't lead to anything. Maybe it's going to be activated subsequently for more details. Here is our buddy. But before that, let's take a look what's here. And here we have a nice cable for recharging, which is normal USB-A to USB-C, okay? So you can use even the ones of your phone. Even iPhone now has that, so the new models. Okay, and now let's take a look at the main subject. You also get this little warranty card, which is nice. Other QR scan codes, I did try this, that leads you to another product, actually, the R9, in any case. And this is very strange because, as you understood, I have already opened this clearly. And this is supposed to help you to get a grip on the plastic present here to remove it from the display. But I have not detected any plastic on the display, actually. Maybe, once again, the future models are going to have that. And here it is in all its glory, with the direction of the tape, the writing, Fiio. It's a nice blue, this metallized blue, light blue. I would have loved the transparent version. I'll show you now here a rendering so you can see what it could be. But there's, as I said, there's also white and black. Here we have a certification for the European community, which is a good thing. And name of the model, CP13, portable stereo cassette player. Another engraving of the Fiio logo. I think you can see it. And let's start to take a look at the different features. Very basic, the commands. Play, rewind, fast forward, and stop. No recording. That's it. Very simple. Here we have the output for your headphones, and that's it. No other type of output. Plasticky output, nothing special. I would have liked metal there. The USB-C port to recharge this. And this is nice, actually, a volume knob, which is supposed to be in that position to set it off. I think you can see that. And there's a lot of gain, okay? I want to tell you right from the start, I mean, already like this, it's booming. So you're rarely going to use that, and that's a plus. I mean, it has a lot of gain, and the mechanism is right here. Now, if we try to open it this way, it's kind of hard. You're actually going to need to hunt for this little part here, put your fingernail and open it. On one side, that's good because it's difficult to open. It's not going to just fall open. But on the other side, it's also a little difficult to get it open. Nevertheless, I mean, once you get used to it, it's not that difficult. And inside, we have the mechanisms to read our nice cassettes. And I must admit that what's inside is identical to We Are Rewind, the competitor, the main competitor of this. In fact, I think it's worthwhile to take a look also at the physical characteristics, just the mechanism, which is the main part, compared to the other one. Okay, so this is the CP13, and here is the We Are Rewind, which actually has also a very similar color. It's different. Maybe on camera you can't see it, but it's slightly different. This is a little more bluish, this is a little more grayish. And as you can see, the dimensions are similar in a certain way, but there is this extra part. Probably I'm thinking about Bluetooth, because this one does not have Bluetooth. The Fiio does not have Bluetooth. This does. Plus, I'm sure they're also implementing a better battery in the Fiio, since it has less power, but it lasts longer, at least by the specs, in compared to this. But we should use it for hours and hours and see who lasts for much better, more than the other. I'm sure they're more or less the same. So, as you can see, the We Are Rewind model, it's slightly bigger, except for one side, which is definitely longer. And also, the weight. I will then put the specs here of the weight. Clearly, this is a much more portable solution. Compared to a true Walkman, this is closer to the original concept. As I said this in the review, if you haven't seen the review I did on We Are Rewind with much more details, tests, comparisons, take a look. Here is a link. You're also going to find a link in the video description. And if we take a look to the two heads, we can immediately notice, I think you can see it, see that name right there on top, which just says ES4201. It's identical on both. Even here it says ES4201. And if you look also at the mechanisms, they are identical. Trust me. The only difference is, well, not the only actually. The main difference is this can also record. In fact, we have the recording head. This one doesn't. But there is a better construction of a few parts of the mechanism. That's the only thing. But we'll talk about that when I'm talking about the specs. This was just a brief overview of the physical characteristics. Since we're at it, I just want to quickly show you a comparison, physical comparison, with a normal Walkman. And not necessarily the very, very last ones, but already in the 90s, early 90s. We were doing great stuff. And this beauty is very compact. Yes, it didn't last that long because it used the stick battery. If you wanted to use normal batteries, you had to attach a little case here, meaning it would have been even bigger. Nevertheless, if you were using the lithium battery, as you can see, I mean, this is a true portable gizmo, not this, neither this. In any case, before going back to something like this, it's going to take forever, if not impossible to do. Forgot to mention that together with the Walkman, the portable recorder, I also received this accessory, which was very nice. I don't know if this is going to be a standard. I don't think so. I think they just added this. In any case, it's a very nice case made out of what looks like leather, but fake leather, clearly. But it's very stylish. It's like the old cases they used to do for the Walkmans, with these magnets. In order to open the case, you can easily insert this way here. Voila! Very nice, very nifty. It's easy to scratch, actually, but it gives that retro vintage look, and you have all the commands easily reachable. And that's it. Okay, now that we have seen the different physical aspects and characteristics, let's take a look to the main specs, which I must say, very difficult to find online. Now, it's true that this player is in the process of being released, okay? It's not broadly available. I had to buy it and import it from China on AliExpress, okay? And this has been going on since November. I've seen people commenting about it here and there. In March, they're finally going to release a few new units in different colors, supposedly, or the end of February, they say. Okay, so let's start immediately from the price. The price is more or less 120 euro dollars. It's more or less the same, even though the rate exchange does create a difference. More or less, they are marketing it with the same price. And as you know, the main competitor, we talked about it during the unboxing, is the We Are Rewind player, which goes around 150 euro, which I think you have to import it in the US, customs fees, etc. Probably also on the Fiio. So there isn't that much of a difference. More or less, we are in the same area, in the same segment, okay? What else? They talk about this mechanical logic core. I haven't found that much information online. It's probably a slight mod in the mechanism, or how it treats the cassette. I'm not thinking too much of engineering, too much of fancy things are going on, because as we have seen, it's identical to what We Are Rewind are adopting. And in fact, the frequency response, which is not available, I'm pretty sure it's the same. Maybe not. Maybe We Are Rewind is higher, but if it was a winning point, they would have put that, I think. So considering it's the same head, most probably it also has the same frequency response, which is 30 hertz all the way to 12.5 kilohertz, which is not good. Decent, yes, but not good. Clearly, there's no recording part, so we're not going to talk about that. The signal-to-noise ratio is 55 dB, so even though we don't have a relationship to what, let's just say that compared to what the We Are Rewind are stating, it's slightly better. Well, but nothing incredibly, once again, not big differences. The differences is in the weight. The differences is a little bit in the battery, which is 1800 milliampere per hour, which is slightly less than the We Are Rewind, but as I said before, they claim different amount of time of playback, which I believe this may be true. I haven't tried it for that many hours. I just wanted to have a sensation of the different commands, the characteristics, and clearly the sound, which we'll reach afterwards, because I want yourself to make your own idea with the test afterwards, and then I'll tell you clearly what I think about the whole thing. What else? They declare they are using a copper flywheel inside, which I absolutely believe. They probably have a little, they substitute the normal standard flywheel. Maybe it was made out of plastic, I don't know, and they put this higher quality type, which is something that probably optimizes a little bit the mechanism, which does seem nice. One of the biggest differences is the absence of Bluetooth. Now, a lot of people are gonna somehow be unhappy about this, but I think it's a good choice. I mean, why put another digital aspect in something so analog, okay? It doesn't make that much sense, because if you use Bluetooth, clearly there's a conversion to digital. So it's better not to put that. Plus, there are aspects that somehow bring degradation in the sound, so considering all the rest of the electronics. So they just don't work perfectly. It's better to drop that and leave it for digital portable machines. No problem there. In this case, I think it's a correct choice they've done. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, it does have auto stop, okay? That's present, and it works immediately and beautifully. Okay, let's take a look now at a short analysis of a 3000 hertz signal and see how the wow and flutter and speed is behaving, okay? Let's take a look. Now, clearly, as in the We Are Rewind, and also in this case in the CP13, we have those fluctuations. Inevitably, it's normal. It's not a great mechanism. We're not talking about Sony or Toshiba or Pioneer or whatever. So it does have this wow and flutter. It is present, and I do sense it a little bit sometimes in a few passages, especially in the beginning, as in the We Are Rewind, guys. So it's practically normal, I would say. You're not going to find those very low values like in the 80s, clearly 80s and 90s. Okay, let's try now to listen to something. We're just going to hear a short extract of this fantastic jazz album, the Walter Smith III, with Harish Raghavan and Eric Harland, Twio, which I like a lot. Just a few seconds. And I already hooked up the Fiio right here. And let's try to listen a few seconds, and then we'll put the cassette in the We Are Rewind just to have a comparison. I'll try to match the loudness output after in post-production, okay? If necessary. We'll see. Here we go. Oh, I want to listen along with you. Wait. Okay, let's rewind it just a little bit. Okay. Clearly, I'm using the headphone output, which you're not supposed to do, but that's the only output we have, unfortunately. Let's go.
think that's enough to have an idea of the sound. Okay, let's try now to understand the pros and cons. Now, immediately, as you've heard, I think that the Fiio is lacking bass. That is the biggest problem here. I don't know why. The We Are Rewind has much more bass. They probably put some equalization. I'm pretty sure that what is coming out from this is the true nature, the true music, because it's very difficult to obtain those lower frequencies. Even Sony struggled with the bass boost and all that stuff they put during the years. So I'm sure there is something along the signal to boost the lower frequencies in the We Are Rewind, but I'm not sure. In any case, I must admit that the result coming from here is much more pleasing than this. But, as you have heard, when I shook this, oh baby, it was pretty stable. This is terrible. As soon as I started to shake it around, it was terrible. The wow and flutter went skyrocket high. So clearly already in the dimensions and the sound, this is not very portable. This is much more portable. This is a pro. Much more portable, absolutely. What else do I like and I don't like? Well, there is a very annoying sound when you put a cassette. I think the microphone will pick it up. The We Are Rewind, I mean externally, while playing, the mechanism is silent in the We Are Rewind. In this case, it makes a noise. I don't know why, but it's annoying. Let's listen. I think you can hear that. And now, let's try just to have a fair comparison with this one. Quite silent. So that's something that I don't like about the Fiio. I also like the fact that there is the nice leather case as an accessory. Although I don't understand if that was included or Ali did that or that was just a promo for this period. Since it was in a different package, I believe it's an accessory, something separate. Nevertheless, that was a nice touch. It's cool. It has that extra vintage feel, which I like. But who cares? It's just an accessory. What we care is about the sound quality. I like the volume button. Very good. I like the fact that they did do some modifications to the flywheel, to even though it's difficult to tell from the external, there are no screws whatsoever. You probably have to detach everything with a special pressure. I'm sure you can do it. Nevertheless, it's not completely friendly use. You cannot do it by yourself immediately like that if you have 4 screws or something like that. No, you have to learn how to open the baby to reach the different components. I don't like the fact that we have, once again, the same stuff inside. Yes, they did some modifications, but it's always the same old one, the same old mechanism, Chinese mechanism. I know, it's difficult. It's very difficult. To have something of a high quality, they have to reinvent the whole chain, as we said a lot of times, which is why it's always better to go out and get a vintage Sony or other brands. There's so many other excellent brands. It doesn't have to be a Sony Walkman. It's just a prototype of a portable cassette player. So that's why I always mention Sony. And if you find it refurbished, or you can service it for just a few dollars, it's not that difficult, and there are people who do that. And clearly the sound is going to be much, much better, and you're having a piece of history in your hand. And that also counts, I think. So, disappointed by the mechanism. Since Fiio was involved, I did expect a lot of stuff. I do like the fact, as I said before, that there is no Bluetooth. The form, I like the form, I like the shape. It's much more portable. These are all pros, absolutely. But for the rest, the sound, if I have to make a decision, I think the We Are Rewind is better in the end. I have to admit this. Because you have that extra oomph in the lower frequencies, and it just makes more enjoyable the listening and true, faithful, we could say, even though they're in both cases there's a lot of distortion. Can't deny that. Okay, guys, I hope you liked this video. Please leave your comments if you tried this or other gizmos. Maybe I'm lurking and I'll purchase them and try them out for myself. Thank you again for watching, and remember that music is born analog. Ciao, ciao!
Well guys, if you're enjoying my videos and you're enjoying my channel, please consider to subscribe by clicking the black and white logo here below. Also, don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode and you will become a true member of the analog community.